The evening was meant to be mine. My birthday. Not some chaotic display, not a show for strangers. I entered the restaurant expecting quiet, maybe a small toast, a soft smile from my wife. But the room erupted with 35 faces staring at me, some familiar, most strangers. She stood in the middle, glowing as though she had orchestrated some grand victory. Just 35 people, she said dismissively, as if it were trivial. I paused, letting my calm, measured smile settle across my face, the kind that froze her mid-laughter. Perfect, I murmured. I'm going home. Handle the expenses yourself. I'm not your cash machine. The chatter dissolved into silence. Her face lost color, but she didn't realize the deeper truth. The real surprise wasn't the bill. It was me. We hadn't always been like this. When we first met, I thought she was the one. She laughed at the jokes no one else understood. She held my hand through storms. I offered her my loyalty, my trust, my money, and she seemed to reciprocate. We dreamed together, built a home, planned a life. I believed in love. But over time, the cracks became impossible to ignore. The way her gaze lingered on what others possessed. The way her voice sharpened when money was mentioned. Always my money. What I once gave freely became a demand, a calculation, a right she assumed. And I, blind in devotion, kept providing, mistaking it for love. It wasn't just about the birthday party. That was only the tip of the iceberg. Weeks earlier, I had stumbled upon receipts buried in the back of her purse. Designer purchases, jewelry I never gifted, lavish meals with people I'd never met, all charged to me. When I questioned her, she brushed it off. It's just money. You'll earn more. That was when the realization struck. I wasn't her husband. I was her financial safety net, an endless reservoir she believed she could drain at will. So I stopped confronting her. I stopped pleading. Instead, I observed. I documented every transaction, every hidden expenditure, every secret indulgence. I copied statements, saved receipts, tracked her habits meticulously. I waited, gathering the evidence that would expose her, that would crush her own arrogance. My revenge would not be impulsive. Rage is clumsy. Revenge is deliberate. Silently, I arranged my affairs. I consulted my attorney quietly, moving assets out of reach, rewriting ownership of properties, accounts, and investments. I let her believe she still had control, allowed her to spend, to boast, to revel in her assumed dominance. Behind closed doors, I collected proof, screenshots, messages, recordings, every indication of her schemes. Friends she bragged to about manipulating me, about draining me. Every laugh immortalized as evidence. When the day came, I entered that restaurant, witnessing the chaos she had created, and I smiled, calm, patient. I told her I wouldn't pay the bill. Her eyes widened in shock, her hand trembling as she tried to reach for mine, whispering, "Don't humiliate me." But true humiliation wasn't what she feared. It was what was coming. I walked away, leaving her scrambling, leaving her illusions intact while secretly dismantling them piece by piece. The calls began almost immediately, first tentative, then desperate, then furious. I ignored them all. Hours passed. Then came the first message, a meticulously compiled summary of her spending, receipts highlighted, copied to her family, her friends, her closest confidants. The facade of perfection she had maintained for years shattered in a single afternoon. That evening, she returned home, her makeup streaked, voice quivering. She screamed accusations, pleaded, tried to argue, but I remained silent. The lights flicked on, revealing a man no longer deceived, no longer manipulated. I handed her the divorce papers, signed, filed, final. She no longer held any claim. The house, the car, the bank accounts, all mine. "You thought I was your personal ATM," I said softly. "Turns out the ATM closes." Her face contorted with shock, rage, panic. Threats tumbled from her lips, claims of taking half, of ruining me in court. But I slid the folder across the table. Proof. Every lie, every hidden charge, every selfish text message laid bare. Her credibility, her power, evaporated in the face of her own greed. She sat in silence, defeated, fully aware the game was over. I left that night not in anger, not in sorrow, but in liberation. She had once dismissed it all as just money. But I understood it was never about money. It was respect, trust, loyalty, all of which she had falsified until nothing genuine remained. The world now saw her truth. I saw mine. And on my birthday, when she thought she could make me pay, I ensured she paid instead. Walking away, I carried nothing but clarity, quiet, and the sweet assurance of justice done.